Anchored on the southern edge of China and open to the world is a city shaped by its place on the globe. Few places on Earth rise as fast, shine as bright, or move as relentlessly as Hong Kong. From the moment the skyline comes into view, you can feel the energy. Glass towers rising from the water, mountains standing quietly behind them, and the constant movement that defines life here. This is a place where the land meets the sea, and tradition meets the future. By day, the harbor tells the story of Hong Kong's past and present. Ferries cut across the water as they've done for generations, connecting islands and neighborhoods, carrying people who call this city home. The skyline reflects ambition, innovation, and resilience, each building part of a city that never stopped growing. Yet just beyond the urban core, nature takes over. Green hills roll towards the clouds, hiking trails overlook the city below, and quiet beaches sit only minutes away from crowded streets. Few cities balance density and nature like Hong Kong, where a short journey can take you from neon lights to peaceful coastal views. Food is at the heart of Hong Kong's culture, and few dishes capture the connection better than wonton soup. Simple in its presentation, yet rich in tradition, it reflects the city's attention to detail and balance. Delicate dumplings, carefully prepared, rest in a clear, comforting broth, often enjoyed in a small neighborhood shop that has served generations of locals. Wonton soup isn't just a meal here, it's part of daily life, a familiar comfort in a fast-moving city. Whether shared late at night or enjoyed during a quiet break in the day, it represents Hong Kong's ability to turn simplicity into something timeless. Hong Kong's culture is built on contrast. Ancient temples stand in the shadows of modern skyscrapers. Traditional customs exist alongside cutting-edge technology. It's a city that respects its roots, while constantly looking forward, never standing still. As the city moves into the evening, Hong Kong transforms. Lights ignite across the skyline, turning the harbor into a mirror of color and motion. Streets fill with life, markets, food stalls, and glowing signs stacked high above narrow roads. The city feels alive in layers, with activity at every level, from ground-level conversations to illuminated towers overhead. From above, the city looks endless. Bridges stretching across water, neighborhoods stacked vertically, and the harbor anchoring it all. From the ground, it feels personal, full of stories unfolding in every corner. Hong Kong is not just a destination. It's an experience. A city of contrasts, motion, and balance. A place where the world feels close, connected, and constantly in motion. And as the lights stretch across the water and the city hums through the night, Hong Kong continues to move forward, unchanged in its spirit, yet always evolving. This is Hong Kong. Hello everybody and welcome to episode number 11 of Around the Globe 2026. Today we're sitting here in Singapore. We are looking at our beautiful American Airlines 777 that we're going to be taking from Singapore up to Hong Kong this morning. We're looking at a little over a 3-hour flight time, so definitely one of our shorter flights here within the series. And if you are interested in any of the videos that have come before this within the series, head on over to the playlist on the Minnesota Sports Fan page YouTube channel, and there you can find all of our previous flights that got us to where we are this morning, which is beautiful Singapore. Looks like we have nice weather here. It's about mid-morning, and we are going to be pushing on out of here very soon and making our way over to Hong Kong. We are getting to the end of this series. We have about 3 flights yet to go, this one included, before 2026 around the globe is completed. And it's been a fun journey. We've been able to take this American Airlines, what we're calling as a charter, around the globe. It's been kind of fun to take this plane all around. This Flight Factor 777 V2 just released officially out of beta, I should say, in 2025. So it's been a fun long haul plane to take with us around the globe and just get more time with it. I've had it since basically it's been available, but haven't flown it a whole lot since I'm not really a major long haul person. But it's been nice to spend some time in this plane, really get to know the ins and outs of it, and just really spend time learning it. And it's a great plane to fly. I would highly recommend it to anybody who is interested in getting into a Boeing aircraft. It is study level, so you do really need to know about the systems and how it operates and everything. So definitely know what you're doing before you go ahead and purchase this plane. But it will teach you a lot, and so I highly do recommend it, as I do believe it is the absolute best payware add-on you can add for your X-Plane 12 simulator. So with that, friends, we're going to go ahead and jump into the cockpit of this American 777, and we'll get everything going and ready to push back out of Singapore. All right, here we are sitting in the cockpit of this 777. Let's go down to the FMC. We're going to go ahead and get all of that cleared out there. Very good. All right, so positioning it. We are currently sitting at WSSS. Throw that in there, and then we'll get our coordinates down here so we can get our IRS fully aligned. Very good. All right, so origin, WSSS. Throw that in there. And we are heading over to Hong Kong, which is VHHH. Throw that in there. And then just like with every flight here in the series, we're American Airlines 4523 heavy. We're going to toss that in there. And then I called for clearance here before the video started, and we were given 0 to center. So that is what we'll plug in there. Beautiful. All right, over here to the EFB, we're going to get passengers, cargo, and catering all boarded. And then we're going to go over here to the FMC, and we're going to get 02 center selected, and we're going to be on the Vimmer 6A. We'll go with that. Vimmer 6A departure. Activate that. Execute. And then over here to the route page, we're going to do some things here. We're going to go with M771. Throw it in there for our first airway here today. And then VSAT. All right, and then from VSAT, we're going to be... All right, then we're going to be DUDIS, D-U-D-I-S. And, oh, nope, wrong side there. All right, there we go. All right, perfect. And then from DUDIS, we're going to be going to DOSIT. Throw that in there. Okay, and then we are going to... I'm just taking a look over here at my other screen, making sure everything's looking kind of good. Q1, we're going to throw that in there. We're going to have to double check that one, though. I'm not too certain about that one. If that one's going to be right, we'll do that once we're done with everything else here. All right, so we're going to go Carso. And then we're going to go to the airway, jump on the airway, V551. And then we're going to be on the Betty 3 arrival here today. And so we'll go over to arrivals page, and then we're going to take the RNAV approach into runway 7 center. All right, very good. And then we're going to get the Betty 3A arrival selected with the Limes transition. All right, very good. So Limes, and then we should be good. And then I will just we'll get rid of that discontinuity. and then we should be good until we get all of our boarding and catering on board here, get our final weights and balances from the load sheet. Alright, we got ourselves the load sheet. We're going to go over here, we'll grab it there, and we'll toss it over here to our left. Got to take a look at a couple things here. Our zero fuel weight is going to be 391.3. Get that thrown in there. Reserve fuel today is going to be 2.0, 2,000 pounds. Cruise altitude today is going to be, let's see here, it is going to be 39,000 feet. With a cost index today, let's just looking at my charts here, 111. Alright, so now over to our thrust limit here. Our cell temp today is going to be plus 52. Throw that in, beautiful. Alright, over to the takeoff page. Our flaps are going to be 5 degrees today. And with that, our CG is going to be, I gotta go over here to the EFB, take a look. CG is going to be 31.9. So we'll throw in 31.9. And that's going to give us a CG of 3.75. And with that, we'll go ahead and accept our V speeds. Beautiful. Alright, over here to Captain's Commands, we'll go ahead and get started with the pre-flight briefing.
We are ready for the briefing. Do you agree? Ready, sir. Pre-flight is complete.
Alright, we're going to request all ground equipment to be removed.
Please remove it.
Certainly.
And then we'll request to close the hatches.
Please close all hatches and remove all personnel. We are ready up here.
And now with all the doors
Of course,
closed
sir.
and
Pressurized.
hatches closed, we can go ahead and start pressurizing the cabin. And with that, we'll go up top. We'll get our jetway to go away.
I am all ears.
Sir, we have completed the boarding.
Thank
Alright,
you.
boarding is complete. Everyone's in their seat. And we will now, in just a moment here, call for pushback. Alright, we'll go up top. We will request our pushback. And we'll make sure that the doors are put
Doors
to arm mode.
Please.
All armed.
Alright, you can see our tug is now attaching to the plane. Beautiful morning here in Singapore. It's about mid-morning right now here. It's like in the 9 o'clock hour. It's gonna be a good flying conditions today on our way over to Hong Kong. Alright, so he's gonna start lifting the nose up, and then once he is done there, we will release the parking brake and we can get started with the pushback. There we go. Parking brake released. And we are ready to push back from the gate.
Hello everyone, thank you for your attention. It's time to get you ready for takeoff.
Alright, now that we are well into pushback, we can go ahead and get engine number
We know
2
you
over to
have
start,
lots of
and we'll let those
choices,
engines start
so
to spool up.
thanks for choosing American. We're happy to be your airline.
Start to see that N2 rise.
Now if you'll just
Once it
follow
gets
along
to
with me, we'll be on our
25%, we
way.
can introduce the fuel.
Welcome
And there's
aboard.
25%.
Before we
We'll
depart,
introduce the
here are
fuel.
some important safety instructions.
Did you guys hear some of those engine sounds?
First things first, let's buckle those belts. Insert the metal end.
It's one thing
into
that
the
this Flight
buckle
Factor
and
plane
pull
does
the
so
strap
well
to
are
tighten.
these engine
To open,
sounds.
simply lift on the top of the buckle. And remember, seatbelt should be fastened whenever you're seated, just in case of unexpected turbulence. To get us on our way, make sure your seat is up, all electronic devices are put away, and your tray table is stowed. If you have a carry-on, push it all the way under the seat in front of you. If it won't fit, place it in the overhead bin. If you have have a handheld device, please switch.
All right, now that we have one good engine, we'll
go
go over to the panel and we will get engine number 1 over the ground.
Policy in the back of your American way. U.S. law prohibits smoking, including electronic cigarettes, at any time. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying smoke detectors in the lavatories may result in a fine.
All right,
U.S.
what,
law requires all
Captain,
to comply with
just
lighted
wanted
and
to let
posted
you know
signs
that we
and
are
crew
ready
member
and the search
instructions.
has been completed.
Now let's review the safety card.
All right, so
Please
she's
pay
good back
close
there.
attention, and before you know it,
And we're
we'll be
just
off.
waiting for pushback to finish up, and we will be on our way to the runway.
All exits on this airplane are clearly
Taking off
marked.
on 2
Take a
center.
moment to locate the nearest one. Keep in mind, it may be behind you.
All right, so we can
All
introduce the
exits
fuel
have
now to engine number
evacuation
1.
slides to use in an
That'll finish
emergency.
its
When directed to
spool up.
exit, jump onto the slide and move away from the airplane. Some slides may also be used as a raft, except those over the wings. You'll find the exact location on your safety card. This aircraft is designed with escape lighting on or near the floor.
All right, very
The
good. I
sign
think
will
he is
indicate
all
you have
done.
reached your exit.
And we'll go ahead and set that parking brake, and he will
In the event of an
lower that nose of the
evacuation,
plane
escape
down,
path
and he'll
lighting will
disconnect.
appear. Follow the lights until you've
All right,
reached
so
your
let's do a couple
exit.
things down here.
Move all
Let's get our
carry-ons
trim
behind,
set.
just
Trim
head
needs to be
quickly
set to
and safely the nearest
3.75.
exit. And don't
It's a
forget,
little hard
it
to
may
see
be
with the
behind
glare,
you.
but I think we'll get it. All right, very good.
Now,
So
if
trim
the
is
airplane
set.
loses pressure, oxygen masks
Flaps
will
can go
drop
to 5
automatically.
degrees.
While remaining seated with your seatbelt fastened, hold down on the mask to extend the tubing. The yellow cup goes
One thing
over
with
your
this
nose and
777 that
mouth like
is
so. Then
different
slip
from
the
other
band
planes
over your
that I
head to
fly,
secure
which
the
are
mask to
mainly
your
Boeing.
face.
I do fly the
The band
Embraer,
adjusts
CRJ.
automatically.
The
Normal
delay
breathing will start
in
the
the
flow of
flaps.
oxygen. And remember
So when
to
you
always
set your
put your own
flaps,
mask on
it's not an
first before
immediate,
helping others.
flap movement. It
Life
takes a
vests
couple
are
seconds for
located
those
either
flaps to
under or
respond.
next
So
to your seat.
definitely a
Remove the vest,
different
pull the tab,
thing
or
in the
handle to
777 that I
break the
noticed in
seal.
those other
For help
planes. So
locating them, see your safety
given
card.
that this
Remove the
airplane
vest from the package like
is
this.
pretty much study level, I'm assuming it's just like that in real
Put the
life.
vest
So
over your head.
pretty cool that
Wrap
they
the
model that.
strap around your waist, attach the buckle, and pull tight. Once
Signal board
outside,
ground, American
pull the
Airlines
tab to inflate
4523,
your vest
ready to
or
taxi to
blow
runway
into
2
the red
center.
tube on the side. In the water, a light on your vest will illuminate. And please, only
The runway
inflate your
turn offs
vest
on, taxi
outside the
like mine.
airplane. Now, your seat cushion may be used as a flotation device. Just remove the lower cushion and put your arms through the
No,
straps
no,
on
no,
the
not
opposite
27.
side.
Taxi to runway
The
2
crew will
center.
now be coming around.
Did I not say
for
2 center?
check. After takeoff, we'll be back with more information. And if
Try
you
it
need
again.
All
anything,
aircraft be
don't
advised,
hesitate
information
to ask.
Victor is now.
As always, we're here to make your flight great.
Signal board ground, American 4523 Heavy, ready to taxi to runway 2 center. Sometimes I notice in say intentions when you say anything into the mic, sometimes it completely misunderstands you. So you really have to enunciate your words sometimes, especially if you have a lot of like background noise. So sometimes on your departure, or you're coming into land, if there's a lot of noise, from your speakers or whatever, if you use headphones, it's probably not a big deal. But I like to use my soundbar that I have. I have a really nice Samsung soundbar that I like to use, and sometimes it just doesn't always pick it up right. So gotta be a little bit patient with it sometimes. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and taxi over to runway 2 center. Shouldn't be too long of a taxi down here. Yeah, we are on our way, you guys, to our next destination. We are coming up towards the end of the series. We just have 3 flights left to go. It's been a fun journey so far flying this Flight Factor 777. I've been giving it a lot of thought as to what this series looks like in the future for this channel, and kind of what it means. It's kind of like a primary series. And while I don't think this is going to be a series I want to do every year, it is going to be something that I think I'll do biannually. So 2028 would be the next around the globe, and it's something that from a presentation standpoint, it's way different than any other series that I do. Of course, I like to kind of do those intro videos. They're fun to make. It's fun to do the research. It's fun to kind of look things up and get these amazing images of these places that we're going to fly into. So definitely want to revisit this series and do it again. And it definitely won't be as many episodes, I think, in the future. The way I'm thinking about it right now would be somewhere between 8 to 10 destinations, which means it would be 8 to 10 episodes. But yeah, it's kind of fun to think about that. Maybe this is something that'll help grow the channel and be very different than other flight sim content. Flight simming is a very difficult category to grow a YouTube channel with. There's just not a huge audience base, especially when you're not flying the more popular of the two flight simulations. But I'm hoping that with this being kind of a different type of series, that maybe it'll stick out a little bit and it'll be something that people enjoy watching.
Singapore ground FedEx 513 is ready for taxi. Victor 1 Whiskey 10 to runway 2 left, FedEx 513.
American 4523, contact tower on 118.25. Have a good morning.
Contact tower on 118.25 for American 4523 Heavy. Singapore Tower, American 4523 Heavy, holding short runway 2 center, ready for departure.
American 4523 Heavy, Singapore Tower, runway 02C, wind 320 at 8, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff for American 4523 Heavy. All right, let's get out to the runway here. We've been cleared for takeoff.
Approaching 2 center.
Really nice morning here in Singapore. Winds are calm. Sunny morning. Some clouds in the sky here or there, but it should be for a pretty cool climb out here.
On runway 2 center.
All right, here we go, friends. Let's head off to Hong Kong. Throttles to 40%. And let's go. Slight forward down pressure on the yoke.
Contact departure on 120.3.
Contact departure Southwest 2236 via V1.
V1 and rotate.
Request I-Park to
Positive rate, gear up.
International Airport.
And we are climbing out of Singapore.
Indonesia 538, Singapore Tower cleared to Suzuki Carno International Airport via the Annecy 8F departure, then as filed. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet. Departure with Singapore departure on 120.3. Squawk 6212.
Coming at 4,000 feet per minute right now. This thing is an absolute rocket ship. With 62,000 pounds of fuel to start, we're down to 59,000 right now. Not a very heavy aircraft in the terms of a 777. She just wants to climb. Trimmed out very nicely though. It feels good. That's one thing about, making sure if you're a newer flight simmer, making sure that you've got your aircraft trimmed out nicely. It makes the world of a difference. You should not be fighting the pitch of your plane, whether that be on ascent or descent. If you've got your plane trimmed out appropriately with all of your weight and balances and everything, it should be the plane basically flying itself and you're just kind of guiding it along. That's one thing that I really had to learn years ago, is just making sure that you paid attention to your trim. And you can see right now my nose is pointed up. You can see on my PFD how the nose is pointed up, but my yoke is just centered. So that tells me that my trim is looking really good right now on this climb out. My yoke is not being pulled back. I'm not having to lift the nose up. The nose is already lifted. And then as we switch over here to autopilot, what's going to happen is the trim is going to take over as well from an autopilot perspective, and it's going to continue to trim out the airplane as we make our way into our climb. Alright, we are on our climb out of Singapore. We will be making our way up to 39,000 feet, and we should be having a nice tailwind on our way over to Hong Kong this afternoon. So, with that, friends, we're going to head into the intermission. When we come back, we're going to be on our descent into Hong Kong, and we will be landing on runway 07 center. So, we'll see you back here on the other side of the intermission, and we'll get our 777 down on the ground into Hong Kong. Alright everybody, welcome back. We are on our descent into Hong Kong. We just are now coming up on 13,000 feet. We're going to get our logo light on, our wing light on, we'll get our runway turn-off lights on and ready to go. And we are going to be on the ground here in about 10 to 15 minutes. And it's been a very smooth ride so far. We've been above this thick layer of clouds for about half the flight. So it'll be nice to see some land down beneath us here as we make our way into Hong Kong. Weather in Hong Kong, we have winds light. They are variable, about 10 miles per hour, but they will be coming down the runway right at us. So we should be having some good conditions coming in, partly cloudy skies, and we should have a good visual coming into the runway. I have flown into this Hong Kong airport once before, actually early in 2025, and in the time that I spent over in this region flying around, this was one of my favorite airports to fly into. I just love like the hillsides. I don't know if they're considered mountains. I'm not really sure. If somebody knows watching this, feel free to comment. But I just know that the scenery is it's incredible. It looks so different than anywhere else that you would fly in America. It's just kind of these like real rolling hills, mountains, whatever you want to call them. It's just very different, and it's really kind of cool. So very excited to fly into this airport here once again, and we will be down here in just a little bit. Alright, we just passed under 10,000 feet. We're going to get our auto brake set to 2. And now that we're below 10,000 feet, we need to be under 250 knots. So we're going to keep an eye on that as we come down. And we'll continue to monitor our descent. And you can see on our PFD, so where we see our flight path, we're going to be coming pretty much straight in, and then there's going to be a dogleg turn. There's a little bit of a mountain piece of land that we're going to be vectoring around to then get in line with the runway. So that's why we're doing this little dogleg in. They kind of keep us over the water the entire way in. So very kind of a interesting and cool approach here in Hong Kong. Alright, so we're under 10,000 feet. We're going to start getting a couple things ready. You can still see this thick layer of clouds. It says at the airport that it's just going to be partly cloudy, but we're expecting those clouds to kind of go away here. Landing lights can come on. Speed's 240. And we are looking good for our arrival here into Hong Kong. We're going to be landing on 07 Center. Alright, we'll just keep dialing down this altitude here. We make our way in. Alright, so far so good.
Hong Kong Tower on 118.7, Emirates 384 Super.
Contact Hong Kong radar on 13.
Alright, we are coming up on 5,000 feet, actually just passed underneath it, and we're going to start slowing her down here. 210 knots is what we'll have entered in right now, and we're just over 20 miles out from the runway. You can see on our screen the PFD there that we are going to be making that dogleg turn into the runway. These clouds are starting to break up quite a bit, so we should be good as we make our way into the airport. Should have good visual. You can see our speed brakes are still out, just kind of trying to maintain that speed. I've noticed that this 777 is very piggy, meaning that it does not want to lose its speed. You really got to stay on top of that. You really got to monitor that. I've never had an issue coming into land where I can't get the plane to slow down, but on descent, you really got to stay close to it and make sure that it does not get away from you. And I can totally understand if that's how it is in real life. I mean, you're talking about a 400,000 pound plus plane flying in the air. I can imagine that these heavies act like that in real life. So really have learned to just stay close to your speed on descent in this plane. So keeps you on your toes for sure. Alright, we're going to keep that speed brake out still. We're going to get flaps position 1. We're going to get the cabin all set up here for our arrival. And the flight attendants can do their final cabin checks. You can see a little bit of a tailwind right now at 12 knots. We do expect that to shift just a little bit as we make our way and line up with the runway. As we make this turn, we're going to have just a few miles, about 5 or 6 miles, to make sure we're in line with the runway. So about 5 nautical miles. So we got to make sure that we are fully configured, because when we are in line with that runway, we don't want to be messing around with any of our configs. We want to make sure we're good to go and can just focus on taking over the airplane and landing. Alright, so we'll get our speed brake armed, we'll bring those in, we'll let our flaps do our job, we'll go flaps 5 degrees. Just continue our slow descent. Speed 190, perfect, we're looking good. Airport's going to be off to our right, right over there. Very cool, you can see all those ships out in the harbor. Alright, let's get our speed dialed back just a little bit more to 180.
Cathay 459 or contact tower on 118.7 when you're ready. 118.7, Cathay 459.
And in just a moment we will go gear down. Kind of checking here what altitude we need to be at each waypoint. Don't want to get too low. I am doing it manually rather than VNAV taking over, so just want to make sure I'm double checking, make sure we're good.
Hong Kong departure, Qatari 817, passing 1,300 feet to 5,000.
Alright, and here's that turn.
Heavy, Hong Kong departure, radar contact. Climb via the SID to
A little bit
flight level
hazy, so we may
140.
not see the runway directly from this turn, but it should be right out in front of us soon thereafter.
Climb via the SID to flight level 140.
It's so cool how they put those ships out in the harbor. It really makes this area come to life when you see all that. Alright, so flaps 15, speed coming down to 170. And then we can get our final altitude.
Cathay 421,
Get our
contact
final
Hong Kong
altitude
tower
set.
on 118.7.
And then once we are in line with the runway, I'm going to go ahead and take over. I'm probably going to take over a little earlier. It might be a little low coming in here. Yeah, I think we're going to be a little low right now. So I'll probably take over the plane here as soon as we make this turn. And as soon as I have runway visual, I'll probably just take it from there. We'll keep our speed up here to 170 until we do make this final turn.
Turning right heading 215, American 4523.
Now we'll start dialing it back just a little bit as we do this turn. And then I'll take over here in just a moment. Alright, so landing speed is in. 143 is what we're going for. Beautiful. And yeah, a little hazy. We'll go gear down. Flaps 20 degrees.
Qantas 255, contact Hong Kong tower on
I now have runway
118.7.
visual.
118.7, Qantas 255.
Cathay 351, roger. Cathay 351, climb flight level 310.
Alright, and I think what I'm going to do here, we're a little low here. Kind of got a little bit away. We're going to go ahead and disconnect the autopilot. And we'll just go ahead and we'll gain a couple hundred feet here just to kind of get us back on track here with our with our approach. Lift that nose up. Yeah, that was my bad. I was kind of looking I was kind of looking around the scenery here with all these ships and everything, and didn't really pay attention to the altitude. Probably not the greatest pilot to be doing that, but it's okay. We're good. I got you.
Hong Kong departure, Singapore.
Not every day you fly into an airport with all these cargo ships floating around.
For 4,000.
Singapore 89er.
All right, here we are, friends. We are on our descent. We are on approach here to runway 7 center.
140, Singapore 99.
Looking good. Back on track. Go flaps 25. And we'll just continue to bleed off this speed here. Looks like 2 white, 2 red on the Pappy. Check. And we'll go flaps full. Wind's kind of pushing us off to the left just a little bit, so we'll go ahead and fly into the wind and use a little bit of rudder. Keep us on track. Still 2 white, 2 red. Keep that throttle in so we maintain that speed. Check.
400. 300. Approaching minimums.
Continue.
200. Minimums.
Landing.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Alright. Roll back to power. Let her come down. Just hold it. Just hold it. Alright, we're down. Roll out, get center line. Beautiful. Minus 268. That's one of our better landings here lately with this 777. Usually been in the minus 300s with this guy, but nice landing here today in Hong Kong. All right, we're gonna stow those reversers. We will vacate here off to the right. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome down to Hong Kong. Beautiful. All right, we'll just hold short here. We'll get these flaps all cleaned up. We'll go up top. We're gonna get our landing lights off, and we'll get our APU going. Oop, there we go. APU going. Very nice. And we'll get those speed brakes in. All right, awesome. All right, taxi light can come on. We can go and get our strobes off, and wing light can come off. All right, looking good, friends. Let's get over to the gate, and we will turn in right here, and then we'll make our way over. All right, we're going to turn into the right. And then we are going to make another right. Let's see, I think we're going to go down just a little further. This guy's actually going to wait for us. Very nice. All right, thank you.
Cathay
So polite here in Hong
21.
Kong. Usually they just want to drive right past you.
Requesting clear direct to Beacon.
Alright. Okay, I think this is going to be our gate right up here to our right. We'll park next to the United. We're starting to enter the region of the world again where we're going to start seeing American Airlines. We're not going to be such a sight to see with our, remember, our charter 777 that we're taking around the world. So maybe we'll switch it up for our next flight since we're going to Tokyo. Maybe we'll do Japan Airlines, but I kind of laugh to myself when we take this American Airlines 777 all around the world, and people are like, what in the world is he doing with the 777 in this part of the world? Oh, okay, we got a marshaller. Okay, I guess I'm not using the stand? Okay. He wants me way over to the right. He wants me at this other line. Okay. I was not expecting to see a guy standing there. I was expecting to line up with this, okay. Alright, no big deal. We'll just, okay. Alright. Don't mind us, dude. Alright, now he wants us straight in. We may be a little crooked, just with our late turn. Okay, alright, he wants us forward, a little to the right. Okay. Alright. This is the first time I've ever had an actual, like, guy. Okay, alright, and I guess we're good. Alright, perfect. Well, you did a pretty good job, I have to say. Alright. Parking braking, come on. Yeah, you did a pretty good job. Alright. Not too bad. Alright, so engine number 2, engine number 1, both can go to the off position. Engines will start spooling down. And, yeah, okay. We're a little crooked, but our nose wheel is where it needs to be, so that's good. And that's what I thought. If we went to that older line, those jetways are not gonna work. So, it's okay. We got a fix for that. Let's first get in touch with the purser.
Climb flight level 220.
Level 220. Clear for HH427, Captain 351.
Okay, doors are manual.
Cathay 351. Climb flight level 280.
Okay, doors are disarmed. Let's get in touch with the ground crew, and then we can start doing some things here on the ground, and we can get a gate drawn in here for our deboarding.
Good day.
Good day.
Alright, perfect. So over here at the menu, we'll go airplane, we'll go ground services, we'll request the gate, we'll request the chocks, and we may need to go into the settings here, but let's, before we do that for the gate, we'll do the unload of the passengers cargo catering, start to draw that in. They can start doing their thing here on the ground, and perfect.
Roger that.
There we go. There's the hatch is opening. They can start the full deboarding process of the plane. Very nice. You can see the hills that are off in the distance there. That's what I was talking about. The scenery here is just really cool in Hong Kong. Just to see those rolling hills. I'd like to know if those are considered mountains or not. Maybe somebody will let me know in the chat. Okay, so here in the settings, let's see if we go. I just got to figure out where. It's not there. Let's see. Let's go back. Ground operations draw gate. There we go. Okay, so now if we draw the gate should. If I go to ground services, there we go. Okay, so there we got a gate. All right, so we can at least pretend that we have a jetway. All right, perfect. All right, well, friends, with that is going to conclude episode number 11 of Around the Globe 2026. We've made it to Hong Kong. We are on our way now to Tokyo. And from Tokyo, we will be departing on our final leg, 8 hours across the Pacific Ocean, back to Seattle, where it all began back in January of 2026. So, just a couple flights left to go, and I just want to say thank you all for joining me on this journey. It's been fun. If you're looking for other videos within this series, visit the Around the Globe playlist, and there you can find the entire journey of Around the Globe 2026. So with that, friends, I'll leave you here with a replay of the landing, and until next time, we'll see you then, and take care. you.